Many times our festivals are sort of the gateway and introduction to the museum for many guests. A lot of times it's the first time that they hear about the museum, and it might actually be secondary to why they're coming to visit. They're coming specifically for a festival that they heard about that happens to be hosted at the Maritime Museum. They come for the event. Hopefully they have a wonderful time, and then they see everything else that we do. And it's kind of our first contact with a lot of guests. So they come back, hopefully for more events, become members, become volunteers. Yeah, I mean, the first impression is, a struggle that we always had with our old Welcome Center, which, it was small but mighty. But you arrive in the parking lot for one of our festivals and you don't know where to go with the old Welcome Center. So you had to follow the breadcrumbs, and now it's front and center, and it's, arms wide open and welcoming you in. So it's really easy, for guests to actually get onto campus. And the last thing we want to do is, guests have purchased tickets to our events and then they can't find the entrance is not what we'd prefer to have happen. Yeah, so the Spring Sea Glass Festival, that kicks off our season. And we started co-hosting that event in 2019. It outgrew its previous location in St. Michael's. They were looking for a bigger space, and it worked out that we didn't have anything happening at that time. It was a good way to open up the season, and we were blown away by the feedback that we got and how many people enjoyed the event. Well, and it's not just sea glass, it's artists from all around the country, actually all around the world. We have usually around 90 exhibitors that come, and they're sea glass specialty related artists. So, it's not just sea glass to sift through, that's there. Yeah. But art in many different mediums is used. And so you weren't required to have sea glass as part of your artwork. We also focus on coastal art, so that can be, any form that you can imagine. But what it really does is it brings in a completely different demographic that we normally see. And these are visitors that usually may only come for the Sea Glass Festival. And many of them have attended the event for years before we hosted it, and they had no idea who we were. They just knew that it was in a new location. And so it's a great opportunity to open up our doors and our facility to new audiences. So our first year that we had it, we had, over the course of 2 days, we had 9,000 people. Since then, we haven't reached those numbers, and I think we're all okay with that. It felt a little too close for comfort, in town. It was hard to get through town. So we usually see around 5,000 to 6,000 now over the course of the 2 days. Many of our other festivals have various focuses that relate to our mission. I would say really our signature festival is Oyster Fest, that happens at the end of October. So obviously that's everything oysters, and then we try to include a lot more programming that's in line with our mission. So there's the fun food and drink aspect, but then we're also featuring, our exhibits and our educational programs and, programming that's in line with what we're trying to achieve. Our season, we're open year round, but we like to say our season kicks off at Sea Glass Festival in April and really goes through the end of November. Though, like I said, we are open all year long, but every weekend that we don't have a festival through May through the beginning of November, we typically have a wedding that takes place. Typically it's on Navy Point, or in the small boat shed. So we host between 20 to 25 wedding related events each year. I think what's interesting is it's not the same festival. Not each event is the same event. Each one has a very different focus. Of course, we've talked about Sea Glass Festival, but, some of our other ones, we have Antique and Classic Boat Festival in June. So it's 3 days of your antique and classic aficionados with their beautiful Chris crafts. We have a whole slate of programming that takes place that weekend. Then we have Big Band Night the same weekend as the fireworks. So that's really geared towards the local community, where you can come on, listen to a big band orchestra play. It's picnic style, and then watch the fireworks from our waterfront. And then we partner with the Talbot Watermen Association in August for Watermen's Appreciation Day. So there's crab feast and boat docking competition and just a fun Eastern Shore summer day. So we took ownership of the Patriot Labor Day weekend of 2023. So this will be our first full season. We have a wonderful team in place. And one of their goals, or one of our goals universally across the museum, is to incorporate the Patriot into our offerings and make it feel like a cohesive experience that you come to the museum. This is also an opportunity for you to get out on the water. You know, it fills a gap in our mission to get people out on the water and to give them that experience. So certainly as it pertains to festivals, it's a natural partnership where we can offer, you know, unique experiences out on the water during a festival.
Yeah.